So you're moving here to the Destin-Fort Walton Beach area and you're considering moving to Miramar Beach. And you've probably already done some research, but you're wanting to know a little bit more, a concise overview so that you can make the best decision whether moving to this area is going to be right for you. If that's correct, stick around. What's up, everybody? This is Tim Whittemore with the Whittemore Group right here in the Destin-Fort Walton Beach area. This is your first time to our channel. We do tons and tons of videos about everything you need to know about our area. Now, as a military veteran of 14 years and now a military spouse, I've moved so many places. And every time I move somewhere, there was always such a lack of information of where to move to and what to anticipate. That's why we created this channel for you. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, click that little bell so you're notified every single time we got a new video coming out. Now, honestly, we get tons of phone calls and emails and texts from people that want to know what it's like to work, sleep, play, eat, everything here in the Destin-Fort Walton Beach area, and honestly, we absolutely love it. So if you are moving to this area, you got some questions, need some help, again, give us a call, text, email, heck, shoot us that little paper airplane. Whatever you got to do, we got your back when moving here to the Destin-Fort Walton Beach area and Miramar. So let's get into Miramar. Where is Miramar Beach? So Miramar Beach is now just to the east of Destin, and it's just to the west of what we would call Santa Rosa Beach area, the 30A area out there, and Sandestin. If you've ever been to the Sandestin Resort or saw it on a map, it's right there. All right, this population, the non-vacationers that are through here, is actually pretty small. It's around 8,356 people. And what is it that the Miramar Beach area is known for? Well, you probably guessed it in the name. It is its gorgeous emerald colored water and the sand, white sand beaches that they have out there. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is also known for the tourism that comes in and out of here. So the big industry for tourism out in that area. Now, because of its location, you've got, of course, Destin right there, and of course you've got the really nice places down in Walton Beach. You have Seaside, everything off of 30A that's more of the affluent crowd of people that like to vacation and or have second homes or what have you on either side. So it's a really nice place and just a really good crowd to be part of. So a couple of things that I wanted to go over for you for this area. This is a real estate channel. So number one, let's go over housing prices. Now, as of the date of this video, where we are getting towards the fall of 2021, home prices, well, they've gone a little crazy in 2021, but they are starting to stabilize. So let's look at the single family home median price. So our median home price for a single family home is $749,400, and that's a high all the way up to 11.7 million. Whew. Now, if you saw this house, and of course it's in public record, you can look this house up, and it is just its own pristine beach. It's almost like its own it almost looks like its own resort that was purchased for 11.7 million. Absolutely gorgeous area. And then, of course, you have a low of about 280,000. Now, this wasn't a dirty hovel like you would think. It actually is a decent, what you would consider a decent single-family 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home. But it isn't right where you may want to live in comparison to other places in Miramar Beach. But again, it's on your preference. Okay, let's run into condos. Now, you have a condo median price of about $420,000. That's a high all the way up to 2.5 million and a low of 169,000. Now, the low portion is not on the Gulf or didn't have a Gulf view, but it did have a water view, which of course went into the bayside. So we also want to look at rent. So how much does it cost the average rent? Now, there's not a whole lot of rental opportunities out here. But what we have been able to track are the ones that are for, say, a single family. So your median per month rate was around 200 or 2,300, and your high of this value was upwards of 3,500 per month, and a low of about 1,300 per month. Okay, so moving on, what other things do we need to worry about? Number 2 is going to be where to work. Again, thanks to the wonderful tourism that they have throughout this area, there's plenty of places to work for sales and retail. Tons of job opportunities, mostly seasonal. There's maybe 4 months off where we don't get a whole lot of tourism in here towards the winter, but as soon as spring break, it's just boom, boom, boom. It's really good for sales and retail. We also have management positions. It's mainly hospitality. Of course, you've got the Destin Resort, which is a huge employer for that. You have rental management companies, hotels, things of that nature. And of course, like in most areas, healthcare also is a big employer here. Of course, you've got the rehab center that's in Miramar Beach, the urgent care. You've got Twin Cities Medical Center, and a bunch of more clinics that are throughout there and throughout the region. And of course, the biggest employer out here is going to be the government and government contractors. Of course, we have the U.S. Air Force and the Army that does employ a whole bunch of active duty and reservists all throughout the area due to the many Air Force bases and military installations all around that area. And of course, the contractors like Lockheed Martin and all the other ones out there that do allow people to live in this area and afford the housing there. Okay, number 3 are the schools for the kiddos. So the schools that are mainly out here, there are public and private schools. However, for the elementary schools, you have Van R. Butler and the Gateway Academy, which is a private school out there. For middle school, you have the Destin Middle School, which is over there just north of the Destin Commons off of the 293 bridge. It's like the Route 293 bridge. It's just off to the east of that. And as of this year, the Destin High School is now new in that area, so that's where the kids can go for high school. It used to be they had to go to Fort Walton, but now they've got their own high school there. And of course, if you're looking for higher education, the local colleges there are Northwest Florida State College, which has extended campuses all throughout the area. Okay, number 4, what do you need to know about Miramar? Is the great places to eat. Now, if you haven't vacationed here before, there's a ton of great places to go ahead and find just great food and a beautiful view most of the time as well. So I'll have to ask, what are yours? If you have been here, what have been your favorites? Please, if you take a minute, put a comment here below. I love hearing from you guys. But if you want to know what ours are, after we've looked through, one of my personal favorites was the Aegean Greek restaurant that's out there. They also have several locations throughout the area. One in Shalimars. I think I have name recognitions for all the Greek salads I've eaten there. But absolutely phenomenal Greek food, and their tzatziki is definitely worth it. You've got Pascali's Kitchen out there as well. Your Bijux, I know I said that wrong. Bijous. Yes, you can leave a comment on how terrible my pronunciations are. You've got the Acme Oyster House, which is a nice place as well. And of course, Mama Clemenza's European Breakfast is probably the best breakfast place out there. And there's a lot more, but those were the top ones that myself and my team said that they were their favorites. But again, if you think of any more, leave them in the comments below for people moving here. Okay, number 5, things to do in Miramar Beach. There's tons of stuff to do, mainly because it is the tourist area, and a ton of people are flocking out there, so there's always an endless amount of things to do. And even if it's not in Miramar Beach, you've got Destin right there, and all of us locals that don't live in Destin will travel out there when we want to actually go do things. Of course, we just mentioned the food and the restaurants. You could do that, well, 3-4 times a day if you wanted to. There is golfing. If you haven't been to the Destin Resort Golf Course, it's a little bit pricey depending on what you gauge as pricey, but it's a beautiful golf course to go check out. Of course, you've got the beach right there. If you're not a beach goer or you're a little bit more rambunctious, you can do parasailing, you've got jet skis, deep sea fishing out in Destin. There's tons of stuff to do out there, and I'm only scratching the surface. And if you are out there in Destin, you can always rent out a boat and check out Crab Island. If you don't know what that is, Google it. All right, you also have, and this should have been the first one, was shopping. We got the outlet malls, outlet mall that is out there in Miramar, and tons of different places to go shopping and specific to a brand store. Those are really cool to go see. And as far as your nightlife, well, one of the key places out there that we go out to is the Baytown Wharf. It's really, really nice because you've got kind of like this whole atmosphere. There's a couple of bars, restaurants all throughout there, and there's other small little pockets of bars and things. And of course, you're only a short trip down to Destin, where you have a little bit more of that scene for your nightlife continuing on. Okay, and number 6 is, and last, what we have for you is the weather. So yes, Miramar Beach, we are in Florida. It gets hot. It gets really, really hot and humid, man. And especially at this time of year that I'm recording this, it gets very humid and the heat index is rough. When you wake up, it's already 80 degrees and 90-something% humidity. You get it. But, you know, it's also really nice, too, because the opposite is being really cold. I'd rather take the other. All right, so what is the average temps throughout the summer? You're going to be getting somewhere between 77 degrees to 90 degrees throughout the day. But once we get towards the fall, once we get into the winter time, it will get cold. And cold is a relative term, but it's still humid. If this makes sense, it's still humid in the winter time, so that humidity, as it carries the heat, also carries the cold. So even though the lows down here, where it typically gets down to like 45, 46 degrees, it still feels and it cuts right through you. But the highs during this time still get up to 60, which is still pretty nice. For us Floridians, we're still wearing a light jacket, but yeah, it does get cold there. But that's all that I have for you for moving to Miramar Beach and the more things that you do need to know about this area. If you have any additional questions to anything else I had mentioned here, or you want to mention something positive about this area, please go ahead and leave it here in the comments below. And of course, if you are moving to this area, you got some questions, need some help, please give myself and my team a call. You can call, text, email, whatever you got to do. We got your back when moving here to the Miramar Beach in the Destin-Fort Walton Beach area. So again, I'm Tim Whittemore with the Whittemore Group here with eXp Realty, and we'll see you in our next video. Take care.